We are going to see a superb game from the World Blitz Championship, which just finished last week.
Yeah.
The World Blitz is a tournament where a lot of players participate and there's a knockout at the end.
Magnus was
So finals was between Magnus Carlsen and Nepomniachtchi. Finals is a match of 4 games. First game Magnus won, second game Magnus won, third game Nepomniachtchi won, and we're going to see the fourth game, which is a must win for Nepomniachtchi. And Nepomniachtchi is black. Magnus just needs a draw to become the World Blitz champion. Magnus starts with e4, Nepo reacts with the French. d4, d5, knight to c3, knight f6, and e5. This is the most played variation in the
So this is like
French.
sloth.
Okay. So after the knight moves, Magnus also moves his knight to be able to play pawn c3 and cement this pawn chain. c5, that's always played. Challenge the center pawns. c3, knight to c6. So Nepo is putting pressure on the d4 pawn, which is defended thrice. a3 to be able to play b4. Magnus stops. Nepo stops it with a5. Magnus plays knight f3. a4, a clamp on the queen side. This is the best game of the whole tournament, I would say. So you need to pay full attention to understand everything that led to that brilliant moment. Okay, h4 by Magnus. Nowadays, people push the h pawn just like that. It's useful in the endgame if it can get all the way to h6, or in the middle game when king is castled that side. So h4.
Also, they're trying to get the annoying bishop off.
Which bishop?
So let's just say you went a4, then the a3, then the black bishop couldn't come to it.
This bishop?
No.
Oh, this bishop. But that will take time not to come to e7. Okay, so knight b6, knight f4, and now knight a5. So Nepo has already got a he's already got a clamp on the queen side with this pawn, right? So the knight is heading to b3 square, where it will be active. So knight a5. Magnus plays rook b1 in anticipation of knight b3. He's saying you can bring the knight in, no problem. I'll just stay there. You can just stay there. Bishop d7, completing his development. Bishop d3 by Magnus. This is very tempting, but it closes the center. So it's not something you should play easily. h6
So
by
actually,
Nepo.
close center good.
Why is it good for black? When you close the center, you will have no play in the center. Then you will have only a knight on b3 and that's it. White can play on the king side. He has got full pawn breaks on the king side. f5, f4, g4, g5. Here, if you throw away this pawn break, you're going to give up a very important resource. So it's better to keep this in your hand, like pressure on d.
G5 loses a pawn.
Not right now. I'm not saying play it immediately. I'm saying white has got pawn breaks in the future. Don't give up your pawns up, throw your pawns up immediately. That's not what I mean. So after castle, and now white castle, Magnus gets his king out of the way. Whose position is better so far? Who do you prefer? Let's ask the new advanced students, Ved and Arrow. Who do you like more right now? Fast. Don't take forever. Just like a preliminary evaluation and tell me. Magnus. White looks better, right? You've got more active pieces, you could say.
And plus the king is safe.
Yeah, king is safe. Queen c7, preparing long castling. Like Nepo is preparing to go long castles. This is a must-win game for Nepo. So he has to create play, right? So castling long will make the game interesting, not quiet. Rook e1. Knight jumps to c4. Nepo decides c4 is better than b3. So he goes to c4. Magnus jumps with his knight to h5, stopping the bishop from developing because then the pawn would fall. What do you think black should do here? What move do you recommend for black for Nepomniachtchi here?
Knight b3.
Knight b3. But that allows bishop takes, pawn takes, which will double your pawns and then center opens up. Yes.
Castle.
Castling long. Okay, Srenik.
So g6.
G6, that's a blunder. Why would you allow a knight in the heart of your position where you cannot castle? that will probably lose the game. You cannot play moves like that with pawn moves just like that. You're losing control of f6, no? That is not something I expect from you. Castling is a good option. He plays bishop b5, activating the bishop, preparing to take with the bishop so that the knight can go now, if it wants, to b3. Takes on c5. Can the bishop take?
No, sir.
No, because g7 will hang. No? So he would love to take with the bishop, but queen has to take.
Sir.
Yes. What happened?
Oh, no.
Fork. b4.
Sir,
Ha.
sorry, I didn't see it first.
Yeah, don't forget 1%. That will be losing the game again. So can't do that. Anyway, so queen c4, queen takes pawn, and now knight jumps to the center of the board, attacking the bishop. Bishop goes back. Attacking as in it's defended, but you would love to keep the bishop, right, in the open positions. And now Magnus comes in with his queen.
Threatening g7.
Yeah, now if you don't castle, g7 will fall with check and then rook will hang after queen takes. So this is kind of the last moment for black to decide, do I castle or not? Do you castle?
Sir, what else can you do?
Yeah, you have to castle, yeah. He castles. Nepomniachtchi castles. So the game is exactly how Nepo wants it to be. A complex game where anything can happen. When you're in a must-win situation, you want that kind of a game. If it's a quiet game where it's equal, there's no chance to win with black, right? So he has got a game where anything can happen because kings are on opposite sides. It's all about who attacks who first, who gets to the king first.
Sir, for Nepo, king will open.
Yeah, but where are white pieces? Something being opened, king being opened is not a problem unless white can get there. This side also there is no black pieces yet to come there. So you have to prepare the attack. It's not going to happen in the next 5 moves.
Wait, so then,
It will take
sir,
time.
how can anything happen? Because
You prepare it. You bring your pieces to that side. If you're white, you bring out your pieces to this side. With black, you start pushing the g pawn, bring your pieces to the king side. That's how things happen. It won't happen just like that. You need to make it happen. Whoever makes it happen first wins. Magnus plays queen f4, poking the pawn on f7. Nepo goes back with the queen, defending the pawn. What other option was there? And now comes b3. This is the first sign of attack, opening the
sir, I was
b5.
about to say it's a fork.
It's a fork, but it's also a free pawn. Oh, no, it's not a free pawn. Takes, and b file is open, right?
The rook
So,
is coming.
yeah. So b3 takes, and takes.
So take was bad.
Huh?
Knight takes was bad.
Knight takes was bad.
Yeah.
What? How else would you?
Yeah, it's a rook.
Huh,
Which
rook
knight?
will anyway be there on the file.
Yeah.
Even if knight is there on b3, rook is still active. At least one piece got exchanged. One file for the rook doesn't mean there's big problems. There was no way to avoid it. The b file was going to open after b3. Black couldn't avoid it. And now bishop to c6, extra protection for the weak pawn. And now what do you do with white? What's the next step? Yes, I am.
A4.
A4. A4 is a free pawn. Now what's the point?
So
I mean,
take the
it
knight.
can be a sacrifice.
Take the knight.
Bishop takes, pawn takes, you're helping his rook, no? Why?
So
You're helping his bishop.
So then queen takes.
Queen takes. Oh. But then, wait. So is that pawn takeable? Let's see. In this position,
I never knew takeable was the word.
queen takes. Yeah, it is possible to do that. Takes is possible. Black will probably go queen c5. Force an exchange. You will be pawn up, but exchange of queens and lot of pieces are off the board. It will be close to equal. So that's not what Nepo wants, right? That Magnus would want that, but he also doesn't want to take that risk. Where bishop becomes active, rook becomes active. After takes, queen c5, exchange, both bishops will be super active. The rook will be able to come to, not come to d2, but it will be active on the d5.
So why exchange? Queen
To take the free pawn. You mean queen c5, after queen c5. You can not exchange also, you can go back, but then queen will be active. Bishop will be active. Rook will be active. So for one pawn, you're giving black activity. So Magnus doesn't want that. He plays bishop to e3, inviting another exchange. The more exchanges, the better for white. White just needs a draw to win the championship. Right? So here, after bishop e3, Black also starts proceedings on the king side. G5. If you simply sit idly, white will win. Queen will just come this side and things will start happening. So black has to open lines towards the king. So
now
G.
queen to f6.
Queen to f6. Queen to f6 is a good idea, yeah? Because after queen takes, knight takes.
But then the bishop.
Yeah, you'll lose a pawn for free after exchange. You lose a
But
pawn.
sir,
It will be
then
doubled.
the bishop is slightly active. The bishop on f8.
It can come to e7 or g7. Yeah, it's possible to play queen f6. He plays queen d4. Your focus should be here, where the king is. White has to bring the queen as fast as possible here, right? So that's how you attack. You need your main piece. So queen d4. Nepo takes on h4.
So the queen.
So right, queen a7. Okay. He first plays knight f6, stopping rook g8 and stopping the queen from entering. Knight f6. Nepo plays bishop g7. No, first he brings his rook. You have to bring everybody into the game. Right now it looks very good for white, right?
Yes.
Because white's rooks are doubled, queen is ready to jump. Things are about to happen. You can feel that Magnus is about to become the world Blitz champion. Black's attack is yet to materialize. There's nothing on the g file and the knight is sitting good. Engine says it's completely equal. But for humans, this is a very difficult position. Nepo takes, Magnus takes back. And where do you move the queen? Where should the black queen move?
Queen d6.
Queen d6.
Yes.
Queen d6 will allow bishop takes, pawn takes, exchange of queens, exchange of bishop and knight,
Queen
very less
d7.
pieces. Queen d7, same thing, bishop takes, pawn takes. You are allowing too many exchanges.
Queen c7.
Yeah, queen c7 gives support to the king and also keeps an eye on the diagonal.
A7.
Both.
Queen a7.
Queen a7, exactly. Magnus goes for queen a7. But this bishop is very strong, defending b7. There are 3 attackers and there are 3 defenders. So is it possible to break through?
So what is threatening a8?
What is gate? King will move. That's not a threat. You will be attacked. The queen 8 doesn't do anything. Don't simply run with the queen there. King will run this side.
Sir,
Queen a8, king d7.
wait.
So right now black play rook g8. So if you play queen 8, I move the king.
So then rook takes the b7 pawn, bishop takes.
Huh,
Why
bishop-
will bishop take?
No, bishop can take.
Queen.
I can take the queen or I can take the rook. Why not? I'm winning an exchange.
Sir, but
You will take with the rook. Then I take your queen. And you take my queen and it's an exchange of queens. But you lost a rook. So you don't have that option. So here rook g8 happened. Now I will give you 2 minutes to think. What will you play if you are Magnus Carlsen here? White to play. What is your next move for white? Think properly. Look at all your pieces and decide your next move. This was the most critical moment of the whole game and the whole match. Let's see if we can find the move Magnus played. No need to raise hands. 2 minutes to think. It feels like everything is ready for the final jump. Okay, anybody decided? 3 people. 4. Okay, Ayan, what is your move?
Bishop takes c4,
Bishop takes c4, I take back.
then bishop to b6.
Then rook into g2 check. You just opened up his bishop for him. So you have to calculate that. Don't expect bishop b6, queen moves and you take the rook. You will also have to deal with rook into g2.
If you take the rook, then they can take your rook, right?
Check na, how will I take?
So no.
Bishop takes knight, pawn takes back, bishop to b6, rook takes g2. Why queen move? Rook takes g2 now. Why do you want to move the queen first? Take the pawn with check. Why king gets into trouble first? Because bishop opens up.
The king moves
To h1, then queen h2 checkmate. Yeah. Okay, now Ved, what was your move? What did you want for white?
Sir, I wanted to play rook. I mean, queen to.
King b7, king d7. We already considered that before, na? Your queen is attacked. Why allow that? Yes, Arrow, what was your move?
Sir, bishop takes.
Bishop takes knight. I take back.
Sir, then bishop b6.
I take on g2 check.
King f1.
King f1, I move my queen.
Then
You take the rook. I take your rook.
so then we take the pawn.
Which pawn?
So the pawn and b3.
You take the pawn. So that then I take your bishop. You lost a piece. And the attack is still not there. You guys missed a very important move. See, there are 3 attackers on b7. If the queen is not there, rook into b7, bishop takes, queen takes is checkmate. That means what move is possible because of that? Arrow.
Sir, bishop f4.
Nirav.
Bishop f4.
Wait.
Sir, bishop f4.
Yeah. Bishop to f4. Can he play e5?
No, sir.
Bishop takes, pawn takes, and bishop takes. Right? So then what do you do?
So then, then the rook takes pawn check. Sir,
Rook take, wait. Oh, okay. So you're saying here e5. One second, let me check the position. 1 second.
then bishop takes. Then knight takes. No, right? Yeah, knight can take. Yeah, knight. We'll take the knight first.
But there's a bigger problem. Not bishop into knight. You can do something else here. You can finish the game right here. There's a killer move here after e5. Yes.
Sir, queen. Oh no. Sir, bishop to f5.
Yeah, bishop f5 finishes the game because after rook blocks, you can take the rook and then play queen a8. Either way, you'll be completely winning. You're winning an exchange. And the attack is over.
And then the rook.
Yeah. So that is why there was a bishop here, no? So that is why bishop f4, e5 is not possible because of bishop f5. That means it's a killer move. The game is over. Right?
No, sir.
Why not?
Queen d7.
Queen d7, queen check, mate. Game over.
Sir, d6.
Rook d6. You just take the rook, you up an exchange and there's no attack. White's completely winning, no?
Sir, knight to d6. Knight to d6.
Knight to d6. Knight to d6. Let's see.
So queen to a5.
Queen to a5.
Queen takes knight.
Queen b8. Queen b8. King c7. King d7. Queen c7. King moves. Bishop d6. Threatening mate. That should be winning, na? You can even take on b7 after.
So why bishop b6 instead of
To
queen?
threaten checkmate.
Sir, so pawn is already.
You can directly finish the game. Yeah, queen e7. Correct. So queen f5 is not there. Oh, somebody told knight d6. Ved told knight d6. Knight d6, let's see. Knight d6 is possible, no? Can Magnus, Nepo play knight to d6?
Did you?
No, he didn't play. We'll see what he did. Let's see what happened. I think then you can play bishop a6. That would be a killer. Will it?
What happened?
No, pawn takes, rook check, king moves. Yeah, that should win. No. Wait. 1 second. Pawn takes, rook check, king moves, rook check. Is this possible?
So that's
So
not
that's
check.
not a check.
No, not check, rook b7.
No, sir, that's not take to the bishop.
Rook takes back. Oh, then queen will take. Yeah. Not possible. So let's go back. Bishop is here, king is here, this rook is here, and knight d6 is played. Let's think about it. Is there a finish
So
for
give us
white?
3 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes is good. There is a finish. Not easy. So you have to think for 2 minutes. Look at all the captures. Okay, how many of you have decided? Arun.
Sir, bishop takes d6.
Bishop takes d6, rook takes back.
Bishop a6.
Bishop a6, I take.
Sir, rook b8.
King moves,
Rook takes the g8.
rook takes rook.
Sir,
That's possible. There's a better killer move. 1 second, Ian. What was your right?
I just realized something. So.
Okay, alright. Strenik.
so bishop takes d6.
Bishop takes d6, rook takes back.
Queen a8.
Queen a8, king d7,
Uh,
and take the rook.
yeah.
That's there, but there's something much stronger. Rook into b7. You can crash through with the rook. It's all defended, but knight is not really defending it. Right spin.
So, but then
Bishop will take, rook will take.
queen takes.
Bishop a6.
Oh.
So knight is pinned. So let's go back.
No,
So that is why knight d6 is also not possible. Which means Magnus's game's over. No, white's winning completely.
Magnus played.
Yeah, of course he played bishop f4. He believes he's winning. But that move is a blunder. Bishop f4 is why he lost the game. This is one of the biggest shocks in a match in the championship. Bishop f4 lost the game for Magnus. Why? What happens if queen takes bishop?
So the
Rook takes b7.
yeah.
So where is the twist?
Sir,
Sir.
rook takes g2.
Sir.
King takes.
Oh, sir, pawn h3.
After rook takes g2.
Yeah. No,
Pawn
rook
h3.
takes g2,
King takes.
d3, d4.
d4. I go back to f1. So Nepo played queen takes bishop. Magnus instantly played rook into b7. But this is where it struck Magnus when Nepo was thinking that it's not over, it's not over. This is not so nice for me. It looks like white's crashing through. Looks like it's over. But no, black is winning. Where is the win, guys? Let's take 2 minutes to think and calculate the win. Black to play. Sure?
Yeah.
Okay, what
Rook
is it?
takes g2.
King takes.
So then d4.
d4, I go to f1.
So then knight to d2.
Knight to d2, I move to e2.
So then knight takes b2.
You gave up your rook, mister, and your rook is hanging there. I mean, you gave up your rook, na? So is that enough? What Seneca is saying is, give up the rook and then give a check with the bishop. I move the king. You play knight d2. I move the king. You take the rook, I take back. You are down on exchange, no? when you're down a knight. So that's not it. D4 is close, but you're giving up a rook, so you need more. Yes, Aru.
Sir,
Remember,
then
black needs to win this. Yes.
Rook takes G2.
King takes.
So then D4.
D4, King F1.
So then
What do you do?
Knight D2.
Knight D2, King E2. Or King E1. King E1. Sorry, not D2, King
Then
E1. You don't have a rook on G8. You gave that first move. I was about to play a rook G1 checkmate.
so then Queen to
Huh.
Knight.
Yes, wait.
Queen to F3.
You mean now?
Yeah.
Then rook B8 is checkmate only still.
Oh.
Oh, you are about to get roasted over here. You give him one move and it's over. So everything has to be with checks. There is no other way. Yes.
So rook takes G2.
King takes.
The rook on D
Comes to G8. I go to F1.
Then knight to D2.
I go to E2.
Oh. Then
You're down a rook. If gas runs out, game is over. Will Neerav reach his destination?
so then where? Oh, E2.
Huh.
Queen E5.
Queen E5, take the knight, mister. Your pieces will start falling off one by one. So that's not it. So it's still hard. You can feel that it has to be rook takes G2. You have to open up the king. But the point is, after rook takes, king takes, the next move that Nepo played was the most beautiful move of the whole match. What's the point? What next? Queen G4, king moves, then what? King moves, let's say, to F1.
So then
Then what?
knight E2.
Knight E2, king E2, king E1.
And then
Gas runs out. That's the problem. The rook is not yet on G8, so there's no way to run in. So that is why you need a beautiful move here. And Nepo found that move. In a blitz game, that too.
oh,
Nepo.
H3.
H3, king F1. What's the
So
point?
then
Even,
Running out of gas again.
yeah, you're down a rook. You can win an exchange, but that's mate. So you can't take that rook. So, yeah, Neerav.
Sir, rook to G8.
8, king F1.
Sir, bishop, knight to E3.
Knight to E3, king E2.
Then
Gas ran out. You thought you saw knight E3 and then boom, nothing. Knight E3 is just a check. Okay, Ara was saying
H3.
H3, king F1.
So then rook.
Oh, yeah, I cannot play that. I can play rook B8, no? If you touch your rook, I am playing rook B8 pre-move in an offline game.
Sir,
Yeah, you need to calm down, sit down. No? Yes, wait.
so then knight to D2.
King E2.
So then we take the rook
You take the rook, I take back.
and then
You're down a piece, you're down a knight. And the attack is only 1, 2, 3 pieces. I'm up a piece. Okay, wait.
D4.
D4, king F1,
Then knight to D2.
king E2.
Then we take the rook.
Then I take back. You lost a knight. You gave up your rook for free first. And then you're winning my rook and giving up your knight. That means I'm a knight up. Do you have the attack still? Little bit. But is it worth a piece? I am. You were saying.
So, sir, queen to G4,
King F1.
queen to H3,
Queen H3. King. Where shall I move my king? Let's say E2. Yeah, E2.
So I got
Only one person is answering. You need to be patient. You can again repeat.
then sir, after that, queen to G4,
Queen G4. Queen G. So right now you're playing Queen G4, right? King F1, you're playing Queen H3. I go here, you're again repeating with Queen G4. If I go here, yeah, I'll go to E1.
so then
But then Queen G1, no?
so then queen D2.
Queen D2 is also there. Yeah. So I have to go back here. That will be draw. But Nepo wants to win. That might be a draw. I'm not sure, but it looks like a draw. Queen G4, King F. If you go here, then Queen H3 repetition. King F1, Queen H3, King E2, Queen G4. I don't think the king can escape the checks. But black is in a must-win situation. He's down 2-1. He needs a win to tie the match and take it to tie breaks. Neerav.
So D4.
D4, King F1,
So then knight to E3.
King E2.
So then bishop to F3.
Bishop to F3, King E1.
Oh, king E1. Then knight to G2.
Knight to G2. Wait, knight to G2. I'll go back to F1.
So queen to
No, yeah, you can't play knight E3. Queen will take it.
Oh,
So you can't play after D. Oh, wait, queen can't take it. D4 is
Yeah,
played.
yeah.
D4 is played, no? So D4, King F1, knight E3, King. Yeah, I'll play King E1 actually. Yeah, E1, not D2. King E1.
E1.
So that
then
there's no.
knight G2.
Knight G2, I run this set. King D1.
So then
Bishop
So then
F3, King
bishop-
C2. King C2.
queen to F3.
Queen
So-
F3, King C2.
So then knight. So no, bishop to F3 only.
King C2.
So then queen to D2.
How will you go to D2? The knight is
Queen
on E3, no?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so time to see the brilliancy by Nepomniachtchi, after which Magnus resigned. Magnus thought for 30 seconds after that move and couldn't find a counter. The game is over after the beautiful knight to E3
So
check.
queen will take, no?
Yeah, queen will take then. What happens if queen
Oh,
takes?
D4.
D4 will win the queen, so queen can't take. And if pawn takes, then Rook G8, yeah. Because then the king can't escape to F1. So you'll have to go to the corner and then you get
So
checkmated.
then what if you don't take?
Then what do you do? It's a check. You'll have to go to H1 or H1 no, or H3.
No, sir. Also G2.
It's already on G2. G1, then Rook G8, no? So you'll have to go to the corner. So that's why Magnus resigned here, and the match was tied 2-2, and then they played the tie breaks, and then they agreed to share the world championship after 3 tie break games.
So
It became a controversy, like
Sir, they
Magnus
share-
Carlsen, and they shared the Blitz World Championship. Magnus Carlsen and Nepomniachtchi, both of them are the world Blitz champions right now, this year.